Every June, the world's biggest brands stand on the Cannes Lions stage talking about purpose and traditional creativity. But if you actually look at the data models and on-the-ground intelligence from this year's festival, the real story isn't about traditional advertising at all. The entire landscape is being rewired from the inside out by tech and capital. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing a forensic examination of the new state of the industry and mapping out exactly what is happening on the Corzette. We have to start with a highly provocative question. Is the world's biggest advertising festival even about advertising anymore? In short, no, not the way it used to be. We're tracking a massive, aggressive shift away from the traditional one-off brand campaign. Capital is flowing directly into creator-led ecosystems, hyper-advanced AI execution, and data-driven retail media networks. It's significantly less about creative agencies pitching catchy taglines and entirely about complex, high-stakes matchmaking between legacy brands and the architects of the new digital economy. Here is our roadmap for today's brief. We're breaking down the changing Cannes landscape, how creators are commanding the Corzette, AI entering its execution era, the massive push for retail media measurement, a critical C-suite disconnect, and finally, a rapid-fire look at exactly what is in and what is out. Let's get into the data. Section 1. The changing Cannes landscape, transitioning from a traditional ad confab straight into a tech and creator hub. The baseline reality we are looking at is that creators, agentic AI, and retail media are completely rewriting the roles of brand engagement. According to intelligence from the Inkler, the festival is effectively operating as a giant matchmaking service for a $185 billion creator ad spend market. Legacy media buys are taking a back seat. Instead, we're seeing major tech platforms like YouTube and Spotify, alongside AI giants like OpenAI, setting up massive footprints to facilitate this entirely new digital programming ecosystem. If your brand strategy still relies on buying billboards, you are totally miscalculating where the capital is actually moving. Moving to Section 2, creators command the Corzette, shifting from one-off deals to main stage business. The idea that digital talent is just a sideshow is officially dead. Marketing Brews reporting points to a complete creator takeover. First, the official Lions Creators programming track has been expanded to a full 5 days. The Creator Hub itself got relocated from the top of the Palais directly into the sand at the highly visible Creator Beach. We are tracking a massive surge in B2B creators attending, specifically to drive networking and business development. And the most critical indicator of market maturity, the structural shift away from single transactional brand deals towards massive, multi-year B2B contracts. Brands aren't just hiring talent anymore. They're investing in full-fledged media partners. Consider this insight from Becky Owen, the global CMO at Billion Dollar Boy. She notes that the real action isn't even happening on the crowded, noisy main stages. It's happening behind closed doors. Creators are actively commanding equal footing business conversations away from the noise. The high-quality programming and multi-year strategy alignments are taking place in private villas and exclusive executive events. It's a clear signal that creator marketing has fully evolved into a serious, boardroom-grade corporate function. Section 3. AI enters the execution era, definitively moving past pilot purgatory. For years, AI was just a theoretical talking point, but McKinsey's analysis of the festival confirms we are officially in the execution phase. The critical term you need to understand here is agentic AI. We are talking about systems that scale way past basic experimentation. They can interpret natural language prompts, break them down into actionable tasks, and execute incredibly complex workflows entirely without rule-based programming. Marketing teams aren't just using AI to draft polite emails. They are deploying agentic AI to drive hyper-personalized campaigns and manage highly automated, intelligent media buying at an unprecedented scale. But here is the friction point. How do you secure a competitive advantage when everyone has access to the exact same powerful AI? McKinsey highlights a massive paradigm shift. It's the move from keeping a human in the loop to placing the human in the lead. The legacy model was all about manual oversight, essentially just checking the AI's math. The new model, the one driving actual industry leaders, leverages AI for rapid, relentless execution, so the human operator can focus entirely on driving higher-level strategy and creativity. The true differentiator is how seamlessly you blend human judgment with AI scale. Section 4. Retail Media and Measurement, and what we are calling the measurement mandate. Commerce media is experiencing explosive growth, expanding rapidly from consumer packaged goods right into travel and financial services. But this massive influx of capital demands rigorous measurement. Consider these stark numbers from NIQ. A massive 67% of chief marketing officers plan to increase their spend on retail media networks in 2026. The capital is absolutely flowing. But here is the critical vulnerability. Only 53% of those CMOs actually trust the current measurement and attribution capabilities. Think about the risk profile there. They are pouring tens of millions into these networks while actively frustrated by fragmented data and an inability to prove actual business impact across different markets. So, how is the market reacting to solve this data gap? Look at the major collaboration announced at Cannes between data giant NIQ and retail media network Unlimited. They are actively building interoperable systems to measure actual sales impact through verified purchases. They're making it possible to compare performance seamlessly across entirely different global markets, and they're executing all of this within privacy-safe data clean rooms. They are standardizing a heavily fragmented ecosystem, giving advertisers the concrete, undeniable ROI proof they need to justify those massive budget allocations to their boards. Which brings us perfectly to Section 5, the C-suite disconnect, highlighting severely misaligned metrics at the top. As capital gets deployed across these highly fragmented channels, creators, AI, retail networks, the leadership is completely out of sync. This McKinsey data point is glaring. When it comes to evaluating marketing success, 70% of CEOs are looking strictly at hard revenue and margin, but only 35% of CMOs are prioritizing those exact same metrics. That is a massive operational disconnect. If the CEO is demanding bottom-line financial impact and the CMO is delivering social engagement metrics, you have a fundamental breakdown in how success is defined at the absolute highest level of the organization. Why is fixing this so critical for survival? 1.4x. McKinsey's data models clearly show that companies capable of bridging this C-suite disconnect, the organizations that successfully embed marketing KPIs directly into their core business and growth outcomes, are 1.4 times more likely to outperform their peers. Metric alignment at the top isn't just best practice anymore. It is a structural, measurable competitive advantage. Section 6. What is in and out? Tracking the fast-paced rhythm of change in the market. Let's run through a forensic, rapid-fire rundown of the strategic shifts Digiday tracked at this year's festival. First up, in, creators on the main stage; out, creators on the sidelines. We covered the data on this early on, but it is absolute. The outdated model of treating digital talent as a secondary amplification tool is completely dead. They are now the core business drivers. Next, in, programming thinking; out, campaign thinking. The isolated 30-second spot is a relic. Marketers now have to operate like network executives, engineering continuous, long-term programming to maintain engagement across an entirely fragmented media landscape. Finally, in, the creator tech stack; out, the ad tech stack. The foundational technology of this industry is pivoting hard. Capital is actively flowing out of traditional programmatic ad tech and directly into the infrastructure, AI, and platforms built to support, measure, and monetize creator ecosystems. We've laid out the intelligence. The capital shift from traditional campaigns to creator programming is real. AI has moved from a talking point to agentic execution, and the demand for rigorous measurement and C-suite alignment is absolute. So the strategic question you have to answer right now is this: will your brand adapt to this creator-led, agent AI-driven, highly measured reality, or will you be left exposed, relying on the outdated campaign frameworks of the past? It's a definitive sink or swim moment. If you are navigating the intersection of technology, capital, and global business, make sure to follow and subscribe to the Upside Journal podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your audio. Head over to theupsidejournal.com to read the full analytical brief, review the data models, and join our executive network. See you in the next episode.